So our friends over at BC Hobbies gave me a call the other day and they were like, hey, we have a new toy in and we think you're the right man to test it out. So today we're going to do a little review on the Ascent 18. So they got me interested to try this thing out. We're gonna have a little unboxing. We're gonna test it out stock. Then we're gonna go upgrade it, see what it's all about. And I'll give you my final thoughts when we're all said and done. Look at this. Such a small truck, this thing is very well built. The detail in the body, the front and rear suspension is great articulation, and there's tons of clearance. So let's give it a quick test. Driving it inside is pretty fun, but I've got some more scale terrain to take you to. So we're on location and I'm pretty excited because this truck you can really just play anywhere. I mean, we just found this pile of rubble and it is the absolute perfect spot to just have some fun. So let's see what this thing can really do. Now it's getting a little dark out, so it's the perfect time to set up the workbench and install some upgrades. So what we got here is the front portal casings, the front and rear diff casings, front and rear links. Top right is the skid plate, front steering link, and a brass servo mount. Now before we get into our upgrades, I just want to see what the weight is for all the brass components, as well as how much does the truck weigh stock. So that way we'll have a better sense of what the weight is doing. So we got the scale zeroed out. Let's just see how much this truck weighs. So 472.5 grams. All right. So we're adding about 152 grams to this truck, which is about 1/3 of the total weight of the truck. We got the brass, we got the tools. Let's get into this upgrade. zeroed out the scale, and we're about 132 odd grams heavier. So that's awesome. When the sun comes up, we're gonna go take it outside and maximize all of this performance. So now, having driven it stock and with the brass upgrades, let's talk some pros and cons. Crawling is like a big puzzle, trying to figure out what it can and can't do. And this can't do everything, but it certainly can do more than you expect. For the scale of truck and the size of the terrain that we're doing, it's actually pretty good right out of the box. I mean, you get everything. You get your remote, you got your charger, your battery, the truck. You're pretty much ready to roll as soon as it comes out of the box. And you get like 2 hours of runtime, which is, I'm used to like 30 minutes on like a 5th scale truck. So that's a big win. So filming all the cinematic shots for this truck is a ton of fun because it really allows the truck to be in its environment and allow you to see the suspension moving with the scale terrain of this truck. It really just sucks you into what this truck is doing. And, you know, it's still a small truck. It's still a little toy, but don't mistake this for anything less than a hobby grade toy. You can replace the parts, you can upgrade it, you can tune the performance, and the design of the suspension is really made to go up and around obstacles. So, all that being said, I would say that the truck has a little bit of a bumbly nature to it if you're just driving it around. It sort of takes you out of the experience of crawling. But to me, that's sort of the nature of something small. I don't think you're really going to get away from that. So we did a handful of brass-weighted upgrade options, mostly in the front because of the way you want the traction to go. You want the truck to pull itself up rather than push. And it also allows you to side hill better so that if you're on the edge, your center of gravity is lower, whereas if it was up higher, you would roll. I also didn't show you how many times I've rolled this thing where the body is already fairly scratched up. And because this truck and the upgrades are just so cheap and affordable, you may as well do it. However, I will say that upgrading it is not for the first time RCer. It definitely is overwhelming if you haven't worked on RCs, simply because the parts are so small, there's a lot of bolts, and it's like hard to remember which bolt went where, and it's very finicky, especially with my big hands. It's like, so if you do get some upgrades, just be aware it's going to take some time, you know, sort out the bolts and screws so that you know where they went, take some photos, that kind of thing, and you'll be fine. But it does improve the performance immensely and makes you want to drive this thing a little more. Another pro right out of the box is how good these tires are. They're very grippy, they compress well, and they look really great for the truck. I'm very impressed. I rate this truck an 8.5 out of 10. With the upgrades, you're at like a 9.5. And if you added the rims to the upgrade package, I think you're pretty much at a 10 out of 10. So thanks again to BC Hobbies for hooking this truck up so we could do a little test and review. I'm very happy with this truck. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for both channels because we're coming in hot with some more videos. Peace.